Time for another wee job on the C63. Today it's just an oil and filter change. These days people talk about different methods. Obviously you can just drain it out as you always would do back in the day, or more often now I've got the extraction method. I like to do it both ways. So one year I'll do the oil and filter, I'll drain it. Next year I will extract it. So again, still doing the filter for the price of a filter. I don't see why you would just leave it for a year. So they always get done. I've kind of checked it, and after I extracted it a couple of years ago, I took the drain plugs out, and there was maybe, I think, 80 ml of oil come out, which isn't much really when you consider it takes like 9 or 10 litres, so less than 1% really. So to me it's a either or. As long as you do the changes frequently and using good oil. We are using Shell Helix, which is sticks to the 229.5 spec, good stuff, and an official Mercedes filter. For this job, the only real tools you need, either if you're going to drain it, obviously I've not got the exact drain socket size to tell you there, but you need a socket, you need one of these or similar for draining your oil into. I don't need that because it's the oil extraction method. So I've got that. Only other tools you would need would be, this is for the filter housing. It's a 32 mil. Bang on there, that'll take that off. And then plenty of rags, because doing oil changes, no matter what you do, it can always be messy. So we'll get set up and we'll get started in a minute. So I've kind of just got the extraction set up here. One thing I like to do, obviously you'll be taking out the dipstick, and just as a rough measurement, I like to, whatever hose you're going to be using to do the extracting, I like to use a dipstick and kind of size up and put a wee mark, just so I know roughly where to go, because you can sit there footering about, kind of hose in and out just to get the right level and to get the oil going. So a wee mark always helps. Just going to pop off this cover. Stick that out of the way. Oil filter housing here. The extraction can sometimes work better with the oil cap off. So we can try and see if it makes any difference. So I'll just pop that in roughly right down to where my mark is. That's kind of at the bottom there. And then it's just a case of pumping till the oil comes. There we go, she's starting to go already. Should say the engine on this car is warm. I parked it up just before I started. This oil extraction unit holds 6 litres, so I'm not actually going to get it all out in one go, but I'll let it fill up and see how it goes. Right, start. We'll pick this up after a wee bit more oil's out. We're about 5 minutes in, and so far that's 4.5 litres, so that's not really too bad, to be fair. What I'm just going to do now is crack the oil filter, so it shouldn't be too tight. No, it's alright. Yeah. As you can see, I've put some rags around there, because no matter what you do that again, you're going to have a wee bit of oil. I'm just going to bring the tray over just to pop that in. Actually no bad, to be fair, again, not much. I'll let that sit there and drip. We'll just a wee check. Keep drying that oil. We'll catch us up again in a wee minute. We've hit about the 6 litre mark here, so we're just going to take the pressure out. Wee button there, just releasing pressure. Pop this off. Set that in there now. What I've got here, just an old oil container, and we'll just simply pour that in there, but I need both hands, so again, I'll catch you in a minute. We're back here, we've got the another 2 litres or so. You can hear it starting to dry up though, it's just, there's more and more air. What I'll do as well in a minute, I'll put on a smaller hose on the end of this, just in case there's any other wee bits, but we're nearly there. What we can do now is we can get the new filter rigged up. Nice new seal. That seal gets replaced just here. You just need to pop that off, stick a new one on. Fairly straightforward. I think that's pretty much expired there, so again let me just swap over the hose and we'll see if we can get any more out. So we've got the other hose in, maybe pulled out another half litre there with a smaller hose. I'm just letting it sit now, it's still bubbling. Maybe have another wee go in a minute just to be sure. What I need to do next, filter housing. I just swapped the seal over, but to swap the seal, it's really straightforward. The seal is sitting at the end here, and all you do is you just take a screwdriver, pop it under, flip it up, and the seal just flies right off. Putting the new one in, the new filter. Just kind of got this end here is the end that fits inside. It just pops in like so. Just very lightly oil the new seal as well, and it's just a case of popping it back in. Obviously this is a plastic housing, so you just need to be careful what the thread sits in these. I've never seen them get cross-threaded or anything before, but obviously anything like that you could easily damage it because it is just plastic. I mean that's almost, it's almost there. Only needs a wee bit more, so I'll just give it a wee final tighten, and then in a minute we can just check for a wee bit more oil, and then after that it's just topping it back up. Just give it a wee bit more, another couple of minutes. All in all, so far, it's been about 20 minutes since I started this. The video here is, at this point, 8 minutes. So 12 minutes would have just kind of stopped and waited and let it do its stuff. Oil for housing back in. Also torqued it up. As you'll see on it, you've got 25 Newton meters of torque. So we gave it exactly that. So that's on sitting nice. Also, previous to that, before I took the filter off, I don't know if you'll actually see this, but you might see just here, I made a wee mark about where it was before, and taking it to 25 pretty much took it back to bang on where it was before. But now we'll get rid of the rest of this old oil and we can start filling it up. So we've got the extraction kit away, dipstick still waiting to go back in, don't need that just yet. Old oil, will safely go to the recycling centre. Because that's a 20 litre container, it's a bit awkward to utilise filling the car. I've just got another container I use here. Fill it up with 4.5 litres, we'll top it up, and then we'll stick some more in and we'll see how it goes with 9 litres. We'll give it a wee start up check and then we can adjust if needed. So we've got half in, so we'll go for the other half of thereabouts anyway, and we'll check it and see how it is. keep the car clean. So we'll put the cap back on. We'll give the dipstick a wee check. Engine's obviously not been started, but it's nice to know it's CC in the ballpark or not. And it looks no bad, so we will fire it up, let it sit for a wee minute and then check again. And typically starting the car, connected the phone to Bluetooth, cut the phone off, hilarious, but it's been sitting ticking over for a minute now, so we'll switch it off and we'll see how it looks. So back at the car, engine off, sat again for a wee minute, stop the oil drain back down, get a wee clean first and then we'll check it. And it's looking nice, perfect. That'll do it. And she's happy for another year. Similar to other videos, I would always say this is a perfect time with these cars always to check your aux belt. Anytime you're in the engine bay, have a look. Again, mine's it's been changed in the last year or two, so it's fine. And the power steering reservoir, which is under here, always check it, because again, letting the fluid go low, it can kill the pump, and that's quite a costly experience, so you don't want to do that. Aye, that's us done for the day.